We are in Boone, North Carolina. We were invited to stay at Jimmy Stahl's place, and yeah, kind of a neat place to hang out at. For those that don't know, Jimmy Stahl, he is a pro comp driver, also runs Top Dragster and one other class. He'll talk more about that in a few minutes with us. Now, we are in his shop here right now. I'm just gonna play some background music, let you guys soak it in, and I'll have some stuff playing on the bottom here for you. I'm with Mr. Jimmy Stahl.
No, you need to back up and tell me who you're really with. I'm your uncle.
Oh.
Yeah. Because Grady is my stepbrother. He slept in my bed. My family adopted him. And I don't know if he told you the true story of the deal. I don't care. But I know what he went through when we was kids.
Right.
So I'm telling you straight up. He's my stepbrother. And till the day I die, he's still going to be my stepbrother.
There you go. I'm here with Uncle Jimmy Stahl. And we're going to talk a little bit about his hot rod. How old is the ride?
This one was built in 2019.
2019. And this is the third dragster you've had like this? Fourth? Fifth? Oh, you're shaking your head. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
This is seventh or eighth.
Seventh or eighth. All righty.
Yeah.
And before this, you had the Widowmaker, and then before that, it was
the Moonshine Runner, the American car, the night car, the plane car. I mean,
lots of different rides and rods you had.
You need to show your audience or whatever it is what made this car come available. Is the crash in 2017.
Where was that at?
Atlanta Nationals.
Atlanta Nationals.
The left rear wheel broke, and apparently I hit the wall head on, went to sleep, and did 5 barrel rolls.
Oh, wow.
So.
But any big things happened from that? You know, was there any injuries outside of just losing consciousness for a little bit?
No.
Not at all?
No.
No, you told me that you even had your thumb out indicating that you were doing all right at some point,
No, that
right?
was my hand hanging out in the crash, and some put, "Can somebody hold my beer?" and put it on the internet. And I still ain't found out who that guy is. And he sent me 1,000 pictures already printed off of that.
Well, obviously, glad you're okay from that.
Well, what it is safety equipment got above.
Yeah. And NHRA is very, very picky about what goes into their cages or what goes into how they make the vehicles and how. And such.
NHRA is safety conscious.
Right.
Yeah.
Good deal. So let's talk a little bit about the new generation car. Get away from that. You run Super Comp with this, but you could also run Top Dragster. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All righty. Now I noticed that in Top Dragster you have a lot of power adders, but you can run this Top Dragster as a naturally aspirated car as well.
Yep.
Fantastic. How big is that motor?
632.
632. Oh wow. And Super Comp is limited in the time run to. Nope.
Not limited in mile an hour, nothing.
Okay.
There's some of them out there that run 200 mile an hour.
Right.
890. You need to tell people what 890 is. It's like throwing darts. You can go as fast as you want, but it like that bullseye on a dartboard, you got to hit that. You know, that's what when we hit the stutter, then it takes off.
Right. So if you've ever been to a drag race and you see the cars kind of launch just really fast and just back off really fast, or back off and then just hit the gas, that's what you're referring to, right?
Yeah.
All right, good deal. But all out, this thing will run a lot faster than that.
702 at 188.
There you go. Now, basics here. You corrected me. I called this a spoiler, and you said, nope. It is not a spoiler. It is a wing. It is a wing.
That's a wing.
And you can dial in various downforce and what have you. And,
well, depending on, you go to a track, if you got crosswinds, headwind stuff, you can tweak it a little bit, put more pressure on the back tires.
Good deal.
So it digs more.
All right. I don't want to give away any of the secrets or anything like that, but there was a CO2 tank that you said you have on there, pressurized to help.
That runs a throttle stop.
Okay.
Open and close it. That's all it does.
All right. So a lot of pneumatic controls for.
Yep. No, just one.
Just one. Okay.
Yeah, just for the throttle stop.
All right. See, this is an educational experience for me and all the audience. You got a single shock in the back. It looks like.
It's called a monoshock.
Very good. You got the monoshock, and then transmission, is it a power glide?
Two-speed.
Two-speed power glide.
Yep.
Awesome. Intake is big. You run the Dominator carburetor, is that correct?
Well, that's 1250 on there.
1250 Dominator.
And that's Tony Moore's carburetors out of Florida.
There you go.
Yep.
High-rise metal block intake. Everything is really, really clean. I like how everything is kind of tucked away. You were using something to clean your exhaust earlier on with.
That's over there on the deal. The Tola Bowl cleaner.
I thought that was brilliant. You know, that's, you know, leave it to a hot rodder to find an inexpensive way to make something look good that works well too, right?
It's called the old school. We used to put transmission fluid on our tires and make them shine until they come out with that. You remember that, don't you, Grady?
The tube chassis is 100% chrome moly, is that correct?
Yep, chrome moly, TIG welded, rated for 6-second competition.
So up to 6 seconds. And so we got a lot of controls here and a couple of things for when he's driving. Now, seats, the cushions and all that good stuff, they got to cut to fit you, is that correct?
The seat, it got very little padding in it.
Right.
It's the same seat that I had when I was crashed. Saved my ass. I updated the car and put this ISB padding on the inside in here.
Right. Awesome. For somebody who's never seen the inside of a cockpit of a Dragster here, the obviously you got transmission control over here on the far side over here.
Yeah.
Standard gauges, and you've got 2 different computer systems going on here.
No, that
Okay.
one on the right is ignition, water pump, fuel pump, and then there's some lights in there.
Right. And this
On the other side is what dials you in.
All right.
It's called, like my little brother says, the delay box that he hates.
The a lot of well, you have the carbon fiber wing. Is the body also carbon fiber
No,
underneath?
it's aluminum.
Aluminum body.
Yeah.
Okay. See, that helps out.
And you notice my wife makes every trip down the track with me.
I noticed.
You get on the other side, you'll see a prayer.
Let's get that shot there.
Because
Up in there. Yeah.
that's the heart of the hot rod. It's called the grid. The one on up there is all my controls on my switches and everything,
That one
fuses
way
and everything
up
on
there.
that.
Looks like there's a quick access panel, so you don't have to take the whole body off to get to it. And the access panel's right behind little Jimmy there. Awesome. So 2 batteries. Why 2 batteries?
Why?
Yeah.
For cranking.
Okay.
You get late in rounds, they hot lap you. You know, you want the power to be there. You can plug it in between early rounds. The late rounds, you ain't got time to charge up one battery
Right.
back up.
Okay.
And that's also why I got an alternator.
Yeah, there's the alternator on the bottom down there. Now, a lot of guys would say, why are we running an alternator? You know, does an alternator siphon off and pull power on parasitic?
Well, let me educate you guys.
Yep.
A lot of guys run alternators at bracket race. We run them in soup comp, soup gas. Top Dragster and them, only a few run them. Because it's a weight thing.
Ah. Cool.
It's all about that question. When they start hot lapping you, you want to have enough power to supply the MSD. So there ain't a voltage drop and something happens.
Right. You were saying that you were approaching the end life of these tires in the back here
Yep.
at the tune of near $500 a piece.
Yep.
About how long of a life do you get out of these?
110, 115 runs out of them.
Wow, 110 to 115.
Yep.
And is it because you're running out? Because you still got, as Dad pointed out, these are little wear
It's
indicators.
the sidewalls.
So the sidewalls break
Yep.
down
Yep.
from friction and the use. If you ever see these things in for our viewers, if you ever see these things in slow motion when they really start getting on, that's why they're kind of bolted in here. There's so much torque created, these things will actually bind up and you'll see the wrinkles, thus the name wrinkle wall tires. Now the front tires obviously don't need to be replaced until they're worn.
They only last about a year and a half.
A year and a half. Wow.
Yep.
All right. So one last question: if somebody was to get into drag racing professionally, whether through the NHRA, PDRA, or what have you, is there a recommended course that you have? Is there a recommended, what do you think is the best route to get there?
Jump in and figure out what works for you.
What works for you?
Because what worked for me don't work for somebody else.
Right.
But listen to the old people that's been there.
Right.
And forget what, the technology's good.
Right.
But listen to the old people that's run it and what works. And they're the ones that go to the track week to week and don't break nothing.
Right.
That's all I can say.
Fair enough.
I mean,
so whether you got your first quick car that you think is quick, you want to take it to the drag strip and just start taking it down there, that's a good place to start if you're a youngin', junior drag.
Good place to start is not like I did back in the late 60s, early 70s. Take it to a track.
Right.
Because there's not that many open spaces on the road.
Right. And that is the safest thing that I think, that we could all remember is just take it to
to a track.
You even have that written in the back of your trailer there.
Here's the deal. I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing if it wasn't everybody from here all the way to the front paying me to be out there.
Right.
And when you go to the track, you got to respect everybody that's on your car.
Right.
This here is my hero.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, but he started top dragster racing this year, and he went to Galot last year, but he run the fastest he ever run, 698, 195. Third round, 90. Okay, well, whatever. But third round, first national event at Bristol, and his light, or not the light, but his finish line was 0-0-0-3.
Wow.
Shawn Corey's his name.
Well, something I was asking Jimmy earlier on was, if somebody's inspired when they go to the races to start driving and getting out there, what do you recommend to get started to get into these more competitive areas like Top Dragster, Super Comp, and some of the other ones?
Make a lot of money.
No.
Because it's going to be awfully expensive.
Or you could do Jimmy's route and get a lot of the sponsorship too, right?
Yeah, but it's still more expensive than what the sponsors are paying.
All right. Yeah. All righty.
But, if it's something you like, then do it,
It's an addiction, guys.
Yep.
It's an addiction.
Well, what got you into drag racing?
My daughter, she races juniors. And we went to a monster truck race over in Bristol. And they were having the junior nationals there that day, and we got there early. So we went over and watched the juniors.
Right.
And as soon as she saw those kids running those cars, that was all. That was it.
Wow.
She's been racing ever since.
Wow.
But now, the people that sponsor me, they claim it's their fault for getting him hooked.
Oh yeah, because we used to go down and watch. We used to go down and watch him on Saturdays because my wife would be working Saturday night, so me and my daughter would go down there.
Hicks. But you look at that picture, there's 5 world champions in that picture.
Really?
It's 11 o'clock at night. And they all had to drive, 8 hours to get where they was at? They all hung around.
Just see if you'd win.
It was Atlanta.
And I took out #1 in Super Comp.
Oh, wow.
Jeff Strickland. And me and him are buddies.
It's 4 in the morning, and watch the Lord of dawn and just woke up.
22. So you can beat a 22.
He's already won.
He's already won 1 out of 2. Yeah, we'll pull dollars out like we used to.
18.
Jimmy, I used to race.
That's right.
That's good. I'm glad you
And you
did.
still got your reflexes.
Because
A little bit.